What's up, guys? It's your boy Jimmy P here with a little deck tech for you guys. Arcane Maelstrom Commander 2020 is here. I just got off work and stayed up all morning so that I could be one of the first people at my local game store to make sure that I could get my hands on a copy of this deck. Now, I have another deck that's the same that I ordered, like a pre-order. But wherever that's coming from, I'm not going to get that deck until like June 15th. And I didn't feel like canceling it, so that one's coming too. But this deck is ridiculous. Today, I'm going to show you how I'm going to upgrade the deck and try to give you some ideas maybe of what you can do with Kalamax. I'll break it down for you into a couple of parts. I'll show you first what I'm going to put into the deck. Then I'll kind of show you the deck and show you what I'm going to take out of the deck. Talk about a few things and have a conclusion. So if you're interested in learning about some Commander, stick around. Oh, and thanks to our sponsor, the Arena 427 Broadway, for making this video possible. It's people like you that keep Rotted Peach Productions going and doing videos. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so first off, let's look about what I gotta get into this deck, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit why. I'm gonna have to take 9 cards out of that original deck and replace them with these cards to kind of like maximize the things that I can do with here, and I'll go into a little detail as to why I got these cards. So first off, over here we got Ral, the Storm Conduit. That's a pre-release for the Spark that I never opened because I never had any idea what I was going to do with it. So, well, lucky me there, you can go info combo and kill everybody with this card, with this. And I'll get into more of that when we actually look at the deck itself. A key to doing that is being able to copy spells due to Kalamax's ability. So I have to have the package here. The only thing I'm really missing is a fork, but that's really expensive. So I got the Twin Cast, the Reverberate, and the Narset's Reversal, which let me copy spells, which I need to do a loop so that I can end the game in a couple of different fashions. 2 kill cards here, one being Fling, the other being Brain Freeze. I'm going to use a Japanese Brain Freeze to confuse my opponents so they don't know what's going on when they're dying. So Brain Freeze will let me mill them out at instant speed. After copying a bunch of spells, I can just be like, hey, draw 300 cards. So in Magic, as you all know, or you may not know, when you can't draw a card at the beginning of your turn, that's an automatic loss. So that's a ruthless way to just take someone out of the game at instant speed. The Fling is also like an instant kill because then I copy a bunch of spells. Kalamax's ability lets him get +1/+1 counters. Fling lets you sacrifice that creature and do damage equal to its power to whatever. So, oh, I'm going to make him like 500. Take 500 damage. You cry. Seaborn Muse is really good in any green deck when you need to be tapping and untapping stuff. This deck is on the defensive for a lot of things, so having your stuff untapped is really good. Some draw power. Really powerful draw power. A little bit of ramp. Some of the videos I've been seeing show like a lot more like ramp, but I want the extra kill card with the Brain Freeze, so I'm only running the 1 extra ramp, and then I'm going to go with what's inside the deck. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the deck. Alright, so I've opened up the outer packaging, and now we're actually here to open up the deck and see what's inside. I got my Dragon Shields next to me so I can start sleeving some of this stuff up as we go. Because always play with your cards protected, guys. Sometimes people will make a new deck and they'll get all hasty and they'll just want to play it with no sleeves on. Mistake! Don't do that. Alright, let's open this up and see what's going on. So I got this at the Arena for $30, and he was selling cases for $200. What a deal. You think you're gonna find that online or at any other stores? No way. Alright, so we'll get these sleeves going here. Well, Kalamax is the commander, so obviously he's getting sleeved up. Commander decks are 100 cards, if you didn't know. There are some other ridiculous stuff going on in this deck. So obviously we're sleeving up Kalamax, he's the commander, so he gets put in the hard case. Look at that next card. Cry. Zithris, the Writhing Storm. Alright, so now Kalamax is all taken care of. So, in a commander deck, you get like extra commanders that you can either keep in the deck or use to like make other commander decks, so it's huge value. I'm not taking any of the big stuff out of here. I think that's going to be key to not being stuck in one strat. If like things go bad, I can still like recur with the different commanders that they put in here, because they're all pretty ridiculous. The fetch partner commanders, I mean, I'm so tempted to put them in their own decks because those three are absolutely ridiculous. So I'm not taking any of these guys out. I need the two to fetch in case like they tear up my Kalamax too much and maybe I can't play it, or they have answers for my spells with counter or something like that. And then that snake thing is ridiculous. I see the snake being like a $5 to $10 card here, even after all this stuff drops. Now I want to take a minute and talk about the land base here. Now I've been trying to like make myself a better commander player, so I've been like watching stuff about how to be a better commander player. And one of the things I saw that I found quite interesting is that reduce the amount of tapped lands that you can play. And holy crap, did they give me a lot of tapped lands here. That's like almost a third of my mana base. I have one command tower, and those are basics over there. So the Rupture Spire is probably going to get upgraded to something different. Everything else though, I'm going to play for now, and then I'll check my land base later, and hopefully I have some things that are better, because I really don't like that amount of tap lands. But we'll go with it. Alright, so you guys are seeing my first round of cuts here. All the impetuses, there's 3 of them in the deck. They gotta go. I'm not exactly sure why they're in this deck. I guess because you're trying to be political, but that's a waste of time. I need to be able to copy my spells, so these gotta go. So there's your mana rock base, which is something that you always need to be successful in Commander, because you need to be able to ramp, because guess what? Everybody else is going to be doing it. They usually say play 5 to 6, you got 5 here, and you got all the classics, Psalm Simulacrum, Soul Ring, the Commander Sphere. Bonder's Ornament is new. I'm glad to get me one of those. It's the first one I've ever gotten. And then Arcane Signet, which is like new, but is now going to be a staple going forward. All those are staying in. Alright, so we're at our next round of cuts. I'm cutting Strength of the Tajiru because like I'm not really getting into the +1/+1 counter synergy. Like that's not the way I'm going with this deck. I'm more about the instance and the quick kill. So I don't think I'd be using that too much. The Ravenous Gigantotherium is actually a really awesome card, and it's gonna have a way better home in like one of my other more aggro red-green decks, like maybe Rurik Thar or something of that nature. So also the casting cost is really high, and I have to sacrifice creatures, and I'm not really into that. Same kind of with the next card that I'm gonna cut, which is the Channeled Force, because you have to discard cards, and I'm gonna need every card that I can get to do the stuff that I'm trying to do. So it just makes sense to take these particular cards out of the deck for what I showed you earlier, to get on curve and be able to blast early. Well, I feel much better about the mana base now. After I went through looking through the deck, on the back side they had all the rare and good lands like Exotic Orchard, Oran, Reef, Scavenger Grounds, a Mosswort Bridge, Kessig Wolf Run, a Yavimaya Coast. There's some pretty good lands in here actually, so I'm feeling much better about my mana base. Okay, so last round of cuts. The crop rotation, because I'm putting rampant growth in, like I don't really like sacrificing my lands. I don't care if it's at instant speed and it's cheap. Like I've got plenty of stuff that's instant speed and cheap. I need to be getting my land and keeping my land. The Decoy Gambit is an interesting card, and I think it would be well suited for like big group games, but like my usual play group is either 3 or 4. I get lucky a couple times a year and I get like 6. So there's going to be a lot of times where they're just going to let me draw cards, but I'm still going to die because it's just not that powerful. So I'm taking that one out. And then I'm taking Rashimi out because I want to put her in my blue-green elf deck that I have with Krufix. So that just needs to happen because she will be well suited there. Amazing card. So obviously Kalamax is a instance deck, and they went super heavy on the instance, and like all the good ones are there. Prophetic Bolt, Comet Storm, this new green instant that destroys an artifact or an enchantment, Starstorm, Chaos Warp, I like Natural Connection, Frantic Search, Horror. There is a lot of really awesome instants in here, and I'm not taking out any of them. Alright, so that leaves the rest of the creatures that they've left for you in this deck. There's some crazy stuff here. Wart, the Raid Mother, is one that I've always wanted to have but have never had, even though goblins and red and green bothers me just a little bit. Why can't that be red-black? We got the Dual Caster Mage, Charmbreaker Devils, Talran, instant staples. Idolize here, a way to tap down their creatures. Oh, hold it. What's up with that Digital Illuminatus? It's kind of expensive. Getting to replicate is also very expensive. I think I'm going to call an audible here, and I'm going to switch it out. I bought a $20 collector's pack today, and I got this awesome full art. Let's go ahead and switch that out right here. I just called an audible. So that full art card actually is in my Temur colors, which is serendipity, I guess, but that's gonna let me make tokens and like have tokens fight and do other crazy stuff, so that's a lot better than the Jin. I think it gives me a little bit more flexibility too in case I need something that isn't in my wheelhouse. A lot of really good creatures here. Goblin Dark Dwellers, this new Ninkantesset Metamorph. That can get you into some crazy stuff. What if you attack them and you flip over an Eldrazi? Oh no, bad news for them. This Elemental Otter here is quite interesting. Although, giving your opponent another turn, Is It Dev talked to me a little bit about it. He doesn't think it's so good. But I'm going to leave it in for now. And if it doesn't work out, I'll put in some more instants or something. Alright, so this is all that's left that I haven't put in the deck yet, but it's all going in. I got that I never got a copy of that particular Jace before, so I've upped the Planeswalker count to 2. That Ral, of course, I have to have so I can go info out. Swarm Intelligence, I have that in my Keranos, I guess he's called, deck, so I can be copying spells and blasting people. Being able to untap my lands every turn is always good. That Twinning Staff is super ridiculous. That's my first copy of Lightning Greaves I've ever gotten in my life, believe it or not. That Lava Brink Floodgates is awesome. I should have put it in with my Mana Rocks, but I didn't really read it very well. But your opponents can get rid of it also fairly easy. So I guess it was good not to include it there. But yeah, we've just gone through all 100 cards. Alright, well there you have it. My Kalamax deck. What'd you think of the additions I made? What did you think about the stuff that I took out? This is my first Commander deck tech video. What did you think about that? Let me know in the comments. If you want to see more of these with my other decks, let me know. Also, let me know what kind of stuff that you're doing in your decks, because I'm always curious to see if you're doing something that I could be doing that would make my deck better. Once again, this video is sponsored by The Arena, 427 South Broadway, Salina, Kansas, 67401. If you're ever in the area, check out their shop. It's freaking amazing for Magic cards, sports memorabilia, Blu-rays, DVDs, all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyways, like, share, subscribe, LSS. You know it really helps out the channel. Until next time, when we bring you magic content, I'm Jimmy P. See you later.